Hi and welcome to today's presentation with Christian Berner Tech Trade, presented by CEO Bo Söderqvist and CFO Torbjörn Gustafsson. Myself, my name is Max Bacco and I am an equity research analyst here at ABG within industrials. And with that said, Bo and Torbjörn, please go ahead and start the presentation.
Okay, thank you. Hi, my name is Bo Söderqvist, CEO in Christian Berner Tech Trade. I will present the company today together with our CFO Torbjörn Gustafsson. Next. The agenda for today is to present our markets, strategy for high value creation, priorities 2021, and short financial information in the end of the presentation. Next. Our business idea, we offer technical solutions, products and services to companies and public sector in the Nordic countries. We make our customer more competitive, and our competitive edge is our highly technical skills. It's really important to have a high technical understanding of our customers' process and demand. Next. We create innovative technical solutions for a sustainable society. We already do that in some areas already today, and you will see that later on in the presentation. Next. Our core values. Passion. We are passionate about helping our customer. Brave. We dare to challenge ourselves and each other. Innovative. We are creative and we find solutions. And together, we succeed together with our customers. Next. We improve environments that affect many people. Some areas are really important for us. Quiet environments, that we are leading in the Nordic countries in rail, tram and metro, and also in woodhouse production. Sustainable production and sustainable products, the demand is higher and higher all the time, so you must be there. Clean water, cleaning drinking water without chemicals, with UV lamps. And then our own product, Zeta boiler, to sustainable excess power and also reduce carbon dioxide. Next. Our business area are divided in two different business areas that complement each other. Process and environment and materials technology. Next. In process and environment, we have 4 different technical areas. For example, process and equipment, filter technology, etc. We work in sales team from 5 up to 20 salesperson in each team, depending how large the area are. And one important thing here is that we always met our customer as a specialist with really high technical understanding of our customers' process and demand. Next. Here we have a customer case, our own product, Fillflex filling machine here to Nordarom in Norrköping, which improved the working environment in the production facilities. Next. Materials technology, 3 different areas, vibration, technical plastics, and bullerbekämparen. Bullerbekämparen we acquired 2018 and they have their own production facilities outside Gothenburg and will be integrated with vibration technology in Christian Berner AB in the end of this year. Next. Another customer case, and here in vibration, we reduce steps and frame noise, an area, as I said earlier, we are leading in the Nordic countries. Here in a project in Jönköping. Next. Our sector and fields, or perhaps more correct, our customer segments, we are everywhere, and there is a good risk spread in our sales. Torbjörn will explain that a little bit more later on. Some big areas for us are pulp and paper, process industry, water treatment, and the food industry. And now Torbjörn Gustafsson, our CFO, will take you further in the presentation today.
Thank you very much, Bo. And next slide, please. This is our strategy for high value creation, a strategy that is built on 3 pillars, seen on the left-hand side. We create strong customer value, that is our first pillar, and that really goes to the core of our business, to be partner with our customers and create value together. The second pillar relates to sustainability, and sustainability is a natural part of our business model and how we do business. The third pillar, profitable business, is of course a result of the 2 first pillars and important looking at the strategy going forward. Next slide, please. And here, looking at the framework for sustainability for Christian Berner Group, we have supplier, Christian Berner, and the customer. And supplier and Christian Berner are important areas to work with, where we are working with suppliers constantly in the collaboration with energy and resource efficiency and so on. And the Christian Berner part is our own climate footprint, working with diversity. But I would say the most important part of our sustainability framework is really how we work with our customers, where we see that we have products and we have solutions that supports the transformation that our customer goes through in becoming more sustainable. Next, please. We are positioned with good products and solutions to meet the market trends that we see are ongoing. We see that there are trends in greater consumption and utilization of resources. We have climate change and scarce resources and increased urbanization. And relating to the strategy that I mentioned before, we see that we have products and solutions that will support solving the challenges that comes with these market trends. Next, please. How we create value. We work with about 100 suppliers, and where the supplier that have the most sales from is about 10% of our sales. So we are not so dependent on the supplier side. And then we have on the customer side, we have around 4,500 customers, mostly in the Nordic region, but also some that are global. They are spread across a lot of industries, and the dependency there is around 2% of sales to one single customer on an average over the last years. So even less dependency on the customer side, which means that we have a spread in risk that is good, going through different cycles in business. And I would say on this part as well that around 20% of our sales is from own products that we own the drawings and could sell as own products. Next, please. Profitable growth is important to us, and it comes from organic growth and also through acquisitions. And the strategy that we have in place goes for both the organic growth and also the growth through acquisitions. Next, please. Good acquisitions and positioning for intensified activities. We have a track record of making good acquisitions going back a lot of years. However, the acquisition agenda have intensified during the last years, and we have also during the last years positioned ourselves in having a better organizational capabilities and also structure and a governance in place to keep on doing more intensified acquisition agenda going forward. Next, please. Our latest acquisition is Swedenborg Ingenjörsfirma that was made in April this year. And it's a good example of good companies that we look on acquiring. It's a company with a good customer value proposition and also with an own brand and own products that have a good market position. It broadens offer of the group, and we also see a great potential of profitable growth in the Nordics for Swedenborg being a part of the Christian Berner Tech Trade group. Next, please. And then coming into financial information. Next, please. This is the financial objectives of the company. You see on the left-hand side the different financial objectives, and as you can see on green and red, on an average the last 5 years, we do have green on everything but the EBITDA margin, the profitability. And we are, of course, working with all of the financial objectives. And when it comes to the profitability, we do see that the strategy for profitable growth will support closing this gap. And also we have made during the autumn some structural cost changes that have reduced the structural cost within the group that is also then supporting the EBITDA margin. Next, please. And then we have the first quarter 2021 in brief. This was a quarter where we had a better EBITDA result comparing the first quarter in 2020. However, 2020 first quarter was not a really good comparison. It was quite low EBITDA at that point. But however, we have made improvements compared to 2020, where we see a better gross profit margin. And as I mentioned before, there are also some structural costs being taken out that is supporting the EBITDA and the EBITDA margin, even though sales were low. And then going into sales, we do lack some of the bigger project sales that we usually have in the first quarter of 2021. Some are related to the pandemic situation, where we have had customers that are a bit more reluctant in taking investments during these times. But some are also just fluctuations that we normally have when it comes to bigger projects in heat boilers and in vibration technology. That doesn't happen each quarter, but for those, we see that we have a market position that is really good, and we see an underlying market that is growing. So we're not. We see that going forward, those sales will come in the end to us. This goes for sales, but also for order intake that has been a little bit slow on some parts, and also coming to the major projects there. Next, please. Looking at the market overview, the segments that we are reporting on, and you can see that Sweden is the segment that has the most impact of the group, with almost 500 million SEK in sales. Then we have Norway and Finland, and finally Denmark with lower impact on the total group as of now. Sweden has the most impact in the group, but we are looking at the strategy and profitable growth in all markets, and that goes both with the organic development, but also with the acquisition agenda, where we are looking at potential acquisitions in all these areas. Next, please. And here you can see a recent development per segment on a rolling 4-quarter basis, where you can see that Sweden has flattened out a little bit on major projects here affecting. But importantly, the last quarters you can see that the EBITDA margin is ticking upwards, which is something that we follow closely and that impacts the group in total. For Norway, we have a really good upward going trend, both when it comes to sales and also in EBITDA margin. And Norway will be positively impacted by Impact, that was the acquisition being made during the autumn. For Denmark, then being our smallest segment, there has been a difficult situation coming from a very good situation, but having trouble even before the pandemic, but also then being affected by COVID-19 situation and going downwards here. So we're following that closely and hope that as the pandemic situation becoming better, that will also go upwards. And Finland then being quite stable on the numbers that they have for the last parts. Next, please. Finally, the shareholder list, where we have Gårdaverken being the major shareholder. But lately then, during 2021, there has been changes on number 2 and number 3 in the shareholder lists, where behind Nordnet Pensionsförsäkringar, we have Servante Capital coming in, and we have Consejo becoming a major shareholder as well, with the MD of Consejo, Carl Adam Rosenblad, also taking part in the board since the annual meeting being held late April. That was the last slide of the presentation, and I guess that opens up for questions to Bo or me.
Yes,
thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bo and Torbjörn, for that presentation. And as you said, now is the time for some Q&A. And to begin with, as you said during the presentation, you have a very strong position within noise reduction and vibration technology in the Nordics. Could you tell us something about that market, and if there are any additional market segments that you could enter with your offering?
Yeah, as you say, and also Torbjörn and I say in the presentation, we have a really strong position in rail, tram and metro, and also in woodhouse production. New, or more correct perhaps, is additional segment is now the industry segment, where we are on already today, but on a smaller scale. But we now make investments there and strengthen up the sales organization in Sweden for growth now in the industry segment. There is a lot of potential there.
Okay, interesting. And if we go on to acquisitions, how does the acquisition pipeline look like? Do you have any ongoing dialogues with potential targets as of right now?
Yes, of course. As I see it, we have a really good pipeline for acquisitions, and we have a lot of dialogue and discussions with potential target companies all the time, I will say. It's an ongoing process all the time.
Okay. And what kind of companies are you currently searching to acquire?
We are looking for companies that fit in Christian Berner group with us as a complement or strengthen up our offer in existing or in new business.
Okay. And lastly, how have the lack of raw materials and increasing raw material prices affected your segments? Have you seen any improvements in this area? If so, and how do you handle the situation?
Yes, it's right. We have seen that both in technical plastic and also in vibration in material technology, we have seen price increases in the beginning of this year. But so far, no supply or delivery problems.
Okay, I think that was all the questions, so that will conclude the presentation. Thank you very much, Bo and Torbjörn, for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing you soon again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.